Hi, dear friends, welcome back to Cybersecurity by Sarat. Social engineering. With the rise of wider forms of communication, through social media and so on, comes a new wave of threats called social engineering. There are many forms of social engineering, so let's have a look at what you're up against, and how to combat it. Social engineering is the new modern way of manipulating people to give up their personal and confidential information. It comes in many guises and under different subheadings, such as phishing and the like, but it's essentially all a form of social engineering. Essentially, the scammer will take your human nature and responses and turn it against you for their own gain. The kind of information the scammer is after does vary, depending on the type of scam being used. But for the most part they're usually after your passwords, bank and credit card details, or login information in order to gain any sort of financial data. You're probably more familiar with social engineering that you suspect, even if you're new to the term. Recall the emails from someone, usually based in Nigeria, who has come into a fortune in the billions and for some inexplicable reason wants to put the money in your bank account. Needless to say, the money was never there in the first place, and should you go through the process you will eventually be persuaded to hand over some banking information which the scammer can then use to steal from you. There aren't too many Nigerian scams these days. Mostly you get a phone call from someone claiming to be from Microsoft or some other well-known company, who insists that they are tracking a virus or other harmful malware that's currently residing on your computer. They ask you to visit a web page and download a piece of software that will allow them remote access to your computer. When in, they run a script that displays a wealth of useless information on the screen, whilst in the background they run keylogging and hacking software to obtain your online banking details. They can even ask you to log into your bank while connected to make sure everything is working. Other common social engineering tactics include emails from a friend who has been hacked, with the scammer masquerading as them. It could be an email claiming to be from your bank, an urgent request for help, or someone asking for a donation to a charitable organization. Be wary, and question everything. Social engineering, the act of getting information from a person based on their human instinct to react, help, or be entrapped into some form of false promise, isn't as modern as the name suggests. Although the term, social engineering, is in fact relatively new, the process of obtaining sensitive information from a victim has been around for a very long time. The digital age, of course, has increased the attacks and how they're delivered. No longer is a victim beguiled by post, now they're bombarded by false websites, emails and a string of other cleverly disguised mediums. Phishing is the attempt to obtain information from a potential victim through emails, messaging, social media, and auction sites. They can come in the form of an email, for example, claiming to have some money available for you or pretending to be from your bank or credit card company. Social media phishing includes individuals befriending you, or pretending to be someone you may know, then asking for information. Similarly, a phishing attack can come in the form of a Facebook seemingly friendly test, such as, name the top 5 things about yourself and tag 10 friends. The unwitting victim will happily reveal their date of birth, where they were born, pets' names, names of any children, and so on. The attackers will gather all that information and use it to their advantage. Interestingly, there are also 3 different phishing types: spear, clone, and whaling. Spear phishing is designed to specifically target an individual, gathering information such as the above Facebook game, whereby the scammer can personalize their attack on the victim. Clone phishing is an attack type that uses a previously delivered, legitimate email containing an attachment but with the details changed and the attachment swapped for a virus or keylogger. To the victim, the email looks real, since it's cloned from a real email, and when the attachment is opened it infects the computer. Whaling is when a phishing attack targets senior executives of a company or a high-profile individual or business. The attack is a finely crafted email or web address that's created to look business-like and containing information specific to the company or individual. Vishing is voice phishing, using a telephone call to commit some form of social engineering attack. The victim will, as we've explained previously, receive a call from a legitimate-sounding call center with the person on the line claiming to be from a well-known computer-related company. Usually the caller will be led to believe that there's a virus on their computer or that some form of security vulnerability has been detected. The victim will then be guided to a website where the caller can make a remote connection to their computer. Once on the victim's computer, the caller will then run a script that will display reams of data on the screen designed to confuse and baffle the victim. In the meantime, they're secretly running a keylogger in the background. In some circumstances, they can then claim to have fixed the so-called issue but ask you to log into your bank to double-check all is well. With a keylogger in place, they can then see your username and password on their screen, after which they log in and steal from your account. Alternatively, an automated call can ask you to enter your credit card number into the phone's keypad, as it's been reported as being used elsewhere. Of course it hasn't, but as soon as you enter the details, they're recorded and your card can be used by the scammers. Smishing is an SMS form of phishing. In these cases, you receive a text from a seemingly legitimate source, usually your bank or credit card company, but also in the form of a competition winner or something free, asking you to confirm your details. There's often a link for you to follow, which leads to a false website that logs your keystrokes and records your data. Some smishing attacks will ask you to send a return SMS to approve an action, such as a delivery of some goods. The return message is designed to cost significantly more than the usual SMS rate, with the money going straight to the scammers. One way or another, each of these scams are designed to bait the victim. Hence the phishing element, a homophone of the word phishing. The best defense is to ignore, delete, or hang up on anything that's even remotely suspicious. Microsoft doesn't know if you have a virus, and nor will it telephone you. Your bank won't email you for your account details, and don't be tempted to fill in any Facebook games with personal information. In short, be savvy about baiting techniques and remain vigilant.